Hello and good evening. I am Mamadou Gajaga. This is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thank you for joining us. First, here are the main local and international news headlines. In his Meet the People tour in Jambur, President Barrow announced plans for roads, infrastructure and expansion projects in the Kombo South and Sanementering constituencies. Mariama S. Jallo, Gambia's first trained female air traffic controller, says her hard work and dedication are what motivate her to accomplish her dreams. World Rabies Day was commemorated today by the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust in collaboration with the Gambia Animal Welfare Advocates Association and the Banjul City Council. On the commemoration of the World Tourism Day, which is the 27th of September, QTV visited some tourist areas to see their level of preparedness for the opening of the new season following closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And in international news, Guinea's junta said on Monday its members are barred from standing in the next national and local elections. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. In his Meet the People tour in Jambur, President Adama Barrow has announced major infrastructure development plans. As a response to the people's concerns, the President set out plans for roads infrastructure and expansion projects in the Kombo South and Sanementering constituencies.
This is a roving crowd of supporters giving a warm reception to President Adama Barrow as he enters Jambur for another meeting and dialogue with the people on developmental affairs of the country. It is a joint meeting of Kombo South and Sanementering constituencies whose residents are in attendance. The dialogue commences with speakers confirming the developments in their constituencies during President Barrow's tenure. The Alcalde of Jambur opens the dialogue, speaking about the development registered in his village, particularly the ongoing construction of the Farado Jambur roads.
Jambur on fond de jang. Jambur si papa fi. Ngalo ne silo ñu commencé. Xam nga jambali na yoon. Ala ta ko la. Gannaaw Yàlla. Asotota. Am nañ ko. Adama Barrow la ñu Barrow. Si jamono Adama Barrow lañ ko amé.
In accordance with the purpose of the constitutionally mandated tour, the dialogue has highlighted development concerns of residents of Kombo South and Sanementering constituencies and appeal for government's interventions for solutions.
Mr. Adama Barrow, mbe dani la kote ke kasa kunda katafo birikama nyofele ka finti kasa kunda la silatiye kabo nyofele ka finti sifo silatiye mbe dani la ala kan kila ka yemma ko kantu mole muitimi yalon ko mudogu kende kelale.
The Minister of Information, who is a native of Jambur, also speaks at the meeting, emphasizing government's record in socio-economic developments in the last 4 years across many sectors, including infrastructure, agriculture, energy, health, sports, water resources, and others.
Ninata ministry bundala miyalanko wala marta jiella kunyala jang water resources mbetembo minto atata sate kemefula sate taworo wala ni wore bo holol lide nyante topotola dami ya datla fango miyalanko abeni solalo.
Addressing the people and in response to some of their development concerns, President Barrow set out his government's plan to roll out an expansion project of health facilities in the two districts, namely Gunjur and Sukuta health centers, which will each be provided with an ambulance, more doctors, and be better equipped to enhance their capacities to deliver quality secondary health care to communities.
Bari nimba warandi la fanan laftale sain loptano nimba warandi la docteur be tan la docteur me la be operation o kelale ni muso me lafta fansor la fana ma fansor no ando jarta operator abi operator la sukula health center.
President Barrow ends his speech with an announcement for the people of Burfoot, revealing his decision to return to them community land that was claimed by the previous government.
News bale be mbulu jang amna fi kibaro reegi wala mo ne kibaro me yalon ko kibaro bo xamne ni kene dobe Burfoot ngol bulu amna ben pak bo xamne ni mo muy Burfoot man sakunda ya tay bulo kono le buru ni jelo ko ci sen loxo bari ndel ngadi sonota pour kamru ni Burfoot ngol ma waye nak ni wala kay do na daten kay gobula ameni mbela fila Burfoot ngole na dina mu ga wa Burfoot ñew ila VDC sen VDC membership la membership li sina jang kay do dila.
The Meet the People tour will tonight continue when the President will inaugurate 2 health posts in Makumbaya and Busumbala and the hosting of a joint meeting in Wellingara. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Mariama S. Jallo, a 29-year-old woman, has become Gambia's first trained female air traffic controller. Our reporter Omar P. Jallo spoke to her at the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority Safety Week commemoration. More in this report.
Air traffic controllers are responsible for the safe, orderly and efficient flow of air traffic. They are usually stationed in air traffic control towers, from where they monitor the position, speed and altitude of aircrafts in their assigned airspace and give directions to the pilot by radio. Being an air traffic controller requires highly specialized knowledge, skills and abilities. Mariama S. Jallo successfully graduated from the Ghana Civil Aviation Training Academy in April this year. She was among a group of 9 young Gambians sent by the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority GCAA to Ghana to do the course. Mariama Jallo joined the GCAA in 2013 while studying at the University of the Gambia, where she bagged a bachelor's degree in physics in 2015. We asked Mariama how she was able to excel in a male-dominated industry.
Giving up was not in me. I said it to myself, no matter how tough it is, I'll go to the end. If it was given up, I would have given up when I newly started, because people used to call me and they would tell me, you cannot do this. This is not for you. Because women came and ran away. And I know you will also run away one day. I say no to that. So those were the things that keep me motivated to reach where I am today.
The path to becoming an air traffic controller is not a quick and easy one. The mother of 2 share with us how she balanced her marital and matrimonial roles with her work.
I am at home, I am a wife. But when I am in the office, I am an air traffic controller. Any stress back home, I have to know that I don't have to take it to my workplace. So you need a man that understands the nature of the job that you do in order for that marriage to work. And I thank God at least that my husband understands the nature of my job.
Mrs. Mariama Jallo added that the skills, knowledge and behavior learned as part of the apprenticeship are as valuable outside of the control tower as they are inside.
Once you sit here as an air traffic controller, if you have stress back home, when you come in here, you leave that behind. You are here to save life of people. Do you know the number of people that are in that aircraft? They are all depending on you. One little mistake, it can cause a crash to an aircraft.
Mariama has a word of advice for girls wishing to become air traffic controllers.
And what I have for women out there, those that are married, I believe if they can manage themselves well, they can also do it. I am a mother of 2. For those that are not married, that are just starting, I believe this is the right time for them to apply for this job.
Mariama S. Jallo is a native of Frafenye in the North Bank region. She attended Frafenye Primary and Junior Secondary School, moving to SOS Senior Secondary School, where she graduated in 2011. She then enrolled at the University of the Gambia that year. Congratulations to Mariama on a unique achievement. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P.
Incredible story of Mariama. We say congratulations. World Rabies Day was commemorated on Tuesday by the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust in collaboration with the Gambia Animal Welfare Advocates Association and the Banjul City Council. The event was held at the Crab Island School in Banjul, and Babakar C has the rest of that story.
This year's theme for World Rabies Day is Rabies, Facts, Not Fear, focuses on facts about rabies and eradicating myths or misconceptions. The day is observed on September 28 because it marks the death anniversary of Louis Pasteur, the French chemist and microbiologist who developed the first successful rabies vaccine. As part of the commemoration in the Gambia, the Horse and Donkey Trust, in collaboration with the Banjul City Council and the Animal Welfare Advocate Association, organized a campaign to vaccinate dogs in Banjul. Dr. Keba Dafe is the advisor for the Gambia Animal Welfare Advocates Association.
It is a very dangerous disease, but unfortunately it is highly neglected. So World Rabies Day is a day set aside to create global awareness about this disease, focusing on its prevention and control. So it gives the opportunity for countries and organizations around the world to highlight this important disease, talk about it and strategize, and even work on specific control measures like what we are trying to do to vaccinate the dogs to prevent rabies.
The president of the Gambia Animal Welfare Advocates Association, Mamadou Doumbouya, said people should be aware that the disease is deadly.
Rabies is deadly. Immediately if you are infected with rabies, it takes you 10 days as the incubation period, then that's the time it will take you off as human being. So people have to be aware that rabies is a killer disease. The day today is a very wonderful day for Animal Welfare Advocate Association. This is the time the advocate will come out and sensitize the public on how the disease is supposed to be controlled and preventive measures that people have to take to prevent themselves from this deadly disease.
Africa and Asia are the continents in which 95% of the cases occur. Half of the cases involve children under 15 years of age, with rural poor population suffering the most. Musa Jallo of the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust said that there should be a new approach which should involve going to schools and teaching the children about prevention measures.
Normally in the Gambia, there are few adult people who rear dogs, but most dogs are reared by kids. So if we talk to these kids and try to get them know what rabies is, I think that will really help, and they can go back at home and teach the elders.
Despite the social media and radio campaign in preparedness for the day at Crab Island in Banjul, disappointingly, dog owners failed to turn up to get their dogs vaccinated. The deputy mayor of Banjul gives a possible reason.
Definitely, we don't have a lot of dogs which are in compounds. We have a lot of dogs at the wetland, and now everybody knows that our wetland and with Banjul as a whole is flooding, and a lot of water is all over Banjul, especially Banjul North, and that's where the dogs are. So definitely they went there, but they cannot catch any dog to bring them here. Definitely that's the problem.
Though fatal, rabies is preventable. Rabies can be avoided. The death from the disease can be prevented by administering vaccines and appropriate use of technology. The bite from an infected dog accounts for 99% of these cases, according to the WHO. The people who organized this event say despite dog owners not coming out to vaccinate their animals, the fight to eradicate rabies continues. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
That report by Babu Karsi will take us to the commercial break, and when we return, we'll have some more local and international news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information.
Cherry. Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and thank you if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. World Tourism Day is commemorated annually on the 27th of September to highlight the travel industry's social, economic, political and cultural significance. Our reporter Ajibintu Drame visited some tourist areas to see their level of preparedness for the opening of the new season, following the closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I beg your pardon. More in this report.
Tourism for Inclusive Growth is the theme for World Tourism Day 2021. It focuses on the importance of inclusive recovery and ensuring that no one is left behind. In addition, the day highlights the importance of the travel industry in preserving and promoting culture and heritage. This year's official celebration was hosted by Côte d'Ivoire, with the Gambia's tourism minister in attendance to celebrate tourism's ability to drive inclusive development and the role it plays in promoting respect, while generating opportunities for millions across the globe. In the Gambia, tourism employs more than 150,000 people and is the country's second largest contributor of GDP after agriculture. When the pandemic emerged, the industry shut down to prevent the spread of the virus. This has greatly affected all those who earn a living from the industry. Musa Bajo, a chief guide at Kachikali Crocodile Pool, says the long closure of the tourist season has affected them. However, he expresses his anticipation for this year's tourism season.
We expect a lot of positive change economically, socially, and mentally. People would change to happen. We need also government policies to change in terms of tourism sector. See that Gambia can be advertised.
Mr. Bajo says the Kachikali Crocodile Pool is ready to receive tourists and the COVID-19 guidelines will be followed to ensure safety.
This rich history behind Kachikali. Why is it hidden? Why it is not being promoted? Why Kachikali is being still behind? And if you look at it in terms of infrastructure, and that's one of the key things that we are lacking. But also the positive side of it is still that we maintains our crocodiles in the place, which is more amazing that tourists are coming to see, and even not only to see but touching the crocodile, which many people wouldn't have that in their home.
At the Senegambia Craft Market, we meet Aissatou Yande, a local fabric and accessories seller. She says that the craft market was almost non-existent due to the coronavirus, adding that it was challenging and had affected their only source of livelihood.
I prepare to welcome any country tourists if they come to Gambia, because tourism is our anything. So if the people come, we welcome them nice, talk to them nice, and give them sometimes half price.
Alpha Cisse is a wood carver at the Senegambia Craft Market. He says his earnings sometimes could hit thousands of dollars, but this has been severely affected by the closure of the season.
We are praying good season and good expectation. So we are expecting tourism definitely, because one time we are sitting without no tourism. So we are praying to get tourism because we want tourism. Tourism is our life. Without tourism, we're going to die.
The UN World Tourism Organization was established in 1980 to create awareness on how tourism affects socio-cultural, political and economic values globally and the role of tourism within the international community. The tourism sector employs millions of people. According to the United Nations, the tourism sector employs 1 in every 10 people on Earth, and for some countries can represent over 20% of their GDP. In the Gambia, the figure was 15.5% in 2019, which was before the pandemic, and went down to 8.4% in 2020. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Now, 8 healthcare workers have been trained in the basic Poncetti technique by Miracle Feed Charity in collaboration with the Gambia Club Food Foundation at a 2-day training course at the Brikama Health Center in the West Coast region. Yahya Jao has more.
This training is to prepare healthcare workers on the basic Poncetti technique to be able to detect and treat early clubfoot problems in children. Clubfoot is a birth defect where one or both feet are rotated inward and downward. In many cases, the affected foot and leg may be smaller than the other. Without treatment, the foot remains distorted or deformed, causing people to walk on the sides of their feet, which may lead to pain and difficulty in walking. At the event, Ibu Kamara, the founder and national coordinator of the Gambia Club Food Foundation, explains the role played by his organization in the fight against clubfoot problems in the Gambia and highlighted their achievements.
Treatment is a challenge in the country. There are no well-trained Gambians who have the skill to treat the clubfoot in our own country. We decided to look at the program in that aspect by training our own people When we started with Carnifing as a pilot and Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, each of these hospitals, we trained 6 people. And then from then, the past 2 years, they've treated 157 children within these 2 facilities. That is an achievement.
The training consultant, Dr. Uchenna Oluwatosin, a physiotherapist from Nigeria, says early treatment of children with clubfoot problems is important.
Clubfoot is majorly idiopathic. Up to 80 to 90% of the cases are idiopathic in that there's no known cause. What has been found is that it's more common in low-income countries. Not because of any specific factor, but because in low-income countries we tend to have more children.
Dr. Oluwatosin also stated that apart from the primary factors, there are secondary causes of the condition.
There's a 10% that is secondary. And in this secondary, you find that it's associated with other diseases. You could have spina bifida, which is a neurological condition, or arthrogryposis, which is something that has to do with the joints of this child. So when you have the secondary cases, it's not easy to deal with Poncetti. And then sometimes we actually have to decide whether it's worth it, because there's a life-threatening situation or condition that the child has that has to be taken care of first before you think of Poncetti.
Lamin Sanyang, the officer in charge at Birkama Health Center, expressed delight at having 8 of his staff trained in clubfoot management and thanked the Gambia Clubfoot Foundation for choosing the hospital. He added that Birkama Health Center is the 3rd clubfoot treatment center in the country after Edward Francis Small and Carnifing General Hospital, and highlighted the importance of this training.
This is really very important because if you look at the physiology of clubfoot, the way most of these babies are born with it, and then if not being treated, they go handicapped for the rest of their lives. So getting this treatment and having these people trained, at least you are bringing them out from that what they might be going to, which is not necessary in life, so they become productive people in life.
Clubfoot is a treatable abnormality that can be managed with early intervention. However, according to officials, there is a lack of public knowledge regarding the condition. Therefore, creating more awareness campaigns will lead to early detection and treatment of clubfoot, and therefore prevent children from having this disability. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
And that report will lead us to international news. Guinea's junta said on Monday its members are barred from standing in the next national or local elections, and it will agree on the length of transition to elections with an 81-member council. More in this report. The junta has been holding talks in recent weeks with people from all walks of life to build a consensus on the country's future. The junta announced on Monday a transitional charter that confirmed the military leader Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya as the president following the coup earlier this month. The charter also provides a government headed by a civilian prime minister and a national transitional council that will temporarily act as parliament. The 81-member council is drawn from society, including business leaders, political parties, religious organizations, diplomats and professional organizations. At least 30% of the council members must be female. An elite military unit headed by Colonel Doumbouya seized power on 5th September, accusing the government of mismanagement and corruption. Earlier this month, Colonel Doumbouya shrugged off asset freezes and travel bans imposed by the ECOWAS regional bloc aimed at pressuring a swift transition to the constitutional rule. The junta also said it will not bow to regional pressure and allow President Alpha Condé, detained since his overthrow on 5th September, to leave the country. ECOWAS' credibility in Guinea has been strained since 2018, when the bloc failed to condemn Condé for running for a 3rd term in office last year, despite a law declaring that presidents must step down after 2 terms and widespread protest. ECOWAS also failed to condemn a similar occurrence in Ivory Coast. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. Now, before we end this news bulletin, here is a recap of our main news headlines. In his Meet the People tour in Jambul, President Barrow announced plans for roads, infrastructure and expansion projects in the Kombu South and Sanimentering constituencies. Mariama S. Jallo, Gambia's first trained female air traffic controller, says hard work and dedication are what motivate her to accomplish her dreams. World Rabies Day was commemorated today by the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust in collaboration with the Gambia Animal Welfare Advocates Association and the Banjul City Council. On the commemoration of World Tourism Day, which is the 27th of September, QTV visited some tourism areas to see their level of preparedness for the opening of the new season following closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In international news, Guinea's junta said on Monday its members are barred from standing in the next national or local elections. That's all we have for you in this bulletin of the news. Thank you very much for watching, but don't forget to join us at 10 for another bulletin.